Well, but before we get to that, like, credit to Seth for vlogging the entire trip down there. That was a blast to watch on Instagram.
Yes, it was.
You
it was
liked
fun.
that, did you? Yeah, it's a sad day, folks. A sad day. Very sad day. A very sad day. But welcome to our final Friday game night pick'em show here on AccessWD1.com. All of us are here today, the usuals, but we got a special guest as well. Yep. Little Seth is in the house.
Maybe he should have been picking this year. He would have done better than Seth.
Probably.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Seth is at the bottom of the pick'em list.
It's not even
Even behind
close
the guest
either. He's
picker.
like four behind.
It's so sad.
He's 8 behind Caleb and I, which means we would have to miss every state championship pick and Seth get all of them right to have a chance to catch us.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
though.
but that would only tie him for third.
That would put him on the podium, though. It's not going to happen, but it would put him on the podium.
Apparently you guys didn't wear your coats as much this year to the shows because Seth did not jump on the coattails this year.
Maybe I stinking should have. Like maybe that was the problem.
So
it was that I didn't.
So you admit that any greatness you have is all because of us.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably the other way around in this show's circumstance.
Really?
Maybe not in like picking, but just in like the show in general.
Aiden, what are your thoughts on the matter?
Dada.
He's trying to take the mic from you. I think that's his thoughts on the matter.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Stop letting my dad make a fool of himself.
I think I do remember week 1, Seth said, I'm going to do something different this year. I'm not hopping on Walker's coattails this year. I think I remember him saying that.
Well, it wouldn't have helped him because you're in third place at best.
It would have helped him,
still
actually.
on the podium.
It would have helped him, actually.
Do y'all have like a cage match if you end up tied on the podium? I mean, on 2 men in or 1 man leave kind of thing.
No, I think Caleb and I will just share the bronze.
We could get the 2 bottom guys that are on the bottom of the list, the guest pickers, to have a cage match.
I'm still on board with that 100%.
Aiden back there trying to take down that microphone because he had a battle earlier.
Yeah, the microphone won round 1. He's trying to win round 2.
He's trying to take round 2 away.
Yeah, he's out for round 2. Poor little guy. He pulled it just like this, and it just and he just bonked himself on the head. Now he's after my headphones.
This show never.
I shouldn't have.
This thing went off the rails as soon as you hit the button.
I should have known this was going to happen. He's a cable fiend, and like anything that he can get that's a cable or a wire, he wants it.
But you know what? It brings us happiness to have him in the studio today on a sad day.
I would say,
why are we sad about Georgia? What are we sad about?
We're sad that this breaks our 4-year record of being in the state title game.
I would say, Seth, that it was a bad idea to bring a child into a room with this much expensive equipment, but we bring 3 of them into this room.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
You and Seth and
I don't know why I thought this would go differently than it's going right now. I don't know why I thought that.
Your hair looks really good, Seth.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it looks great.
I'm gonna have to get my
That's
hat.
some Father of the Year hair right there.
Send your votes to.
Is it on Morgan Lee Dad level?
No, his is actually
much better,
much tamer than yours.
Yeah.
His was groomed actually.
Yeah, you probably should go to
his kids are much older now.
We're gonna get to Aiden's picks here in a little bit. As we said, he'll probably do better than his father.
I was not at Creekside. What happened?
We have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, like, credit to Seth for vlogging the entire trip down there. That was a blast to watch on Instagram.
Yes, it was.
You
it
liked
was
that,
fun.
did you?
I don't know.
I did like that.
It would be much use
How did you like the big gulp cup?
The big gulp cup from Gibby.
I don't do Instagram, so how good was it? How bad did he make me look again?
Well, you're just saying we're just some country folks heading down to Atlanta, the big city.
That wasn't. Did I say that?
Yeah, you said
you
that.
did.
Yes, you did.
Maybe not in that exact voice, but
you were in your
say those words.
Access gray pullover and your dirty New York Rangers beanie.
Dirty New York Rangers.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, just pull it out of your bag. You'll see it needs washing.
Does it really?
Yes.
Oh, well, maybe it does. It's probably been a while.
No, what happened at Creekside, man? early on we were feeling good. Jefferson goes up 14-0. And then a 28-3 run by Creekside ended the night.
I think it looked like Creekside just made a bunch of defensive adjustments to kind of take Sammy out of the game.
Kinda.
I mean, well, we were talking that they kind of busted some runs up the middle, and maybe they should have stuck with that. Sammy's more of a north-south runner. They tried to go wide several times, and every single one of them was a negative play, kind of put them behind the chains, and they can throw the ball. But
they didn't as much as I thought they probably should have.
Yeah, but the defensive backs for Creekside are really good. I mean,
I was talking about Creekside throwing the ball.
Yeah. Creekside throwing the ball. I was saying Jefferson. I thought maybe should have gone to the pass a little more.
I will say this, Caleb,
maybe
to kind of add some more answer to your question. Gavin Markey had 3 passes that should have been caught that I think probably would have resulted in at least 1 touchdown.
I would say that's true. I thought Jefferson actually played a pretty good defensive game. When you look at, they've been averaging, 45, 50 points a game, something like that over the last 4 or 5 games. And Jefferson's defense played very, very well to hold them down. It just looked to me, Creekside made some defensive adjustments. Jefferson, I'm not going to say they didn't adjust. I mean, they are who they are. They run the ball. They're going to throw it enough to keep you honest. They can throw more if they want, but they had success early, and I kind of feel like maybe they thought they could get that back again. But those 2 huge defensive tackles,
I got to tell you, 6'7", 340, and literally you look at the kid.
Huge.
He obviously huge kid, guys, but a lot of times you say 6'7", 340, and that's stretched out a lot. And the kid was athletic too. He played nose guard. And he was just a wall in the middle.
Yeah.
And really he was on a lot of plays, that Jefferson tried to stretch.
He was.
And so a very athletic kid. They were athletic up front. Their defensive front 7, probably one of the best I've seen this year, in the coverage that I've done. So, that was kind of a problem for Jefferson. Obviously, they tried to go outside. They obviously couldn't go up the middle much. Sammy broke that 58-yard touchdown run, early in the game, and then Sammy ended the night with 113, I think, rushing. So it was a struggle night after they went up 14-0. But I felt like, again, if Gavin Markey's those 3 passes that were very catchable, if they could have added at least 1 more touchdown, when they go up 14-0, go up 3 scores, that might have changed the game's progression more. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And then, Creekside, they had weapons on offense as well. Their quarterback, a good player. Their offensive line was good. There were a couple of running backs, they had that ran the ball well.
Look, they didn't run the ball for any more than Jefferson did. That was kind of a standstill as far as the running game goes. But they got their big receiver back, Vickerson.
Yeah,
had gotten him back the week before. You can see why he's a 4-star recruit.
4-star kid, yeah.
He gets open and he catches the ball.
Good. I mean he's a bigger kid. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
He didn't look that big, but he was solid. And they had 2 guys like that. But I thought the Jefferson defense played pretty well considering. I think a couple of key plays. Look, they fumbled the kickoff.
That was huge.
That gave them.
That was huge.
That was huge. They gave Creekside a short field. And it kind of seemed from that point forward, things just did not go their way. Look, I think they held Creekside down, and pretty much in the second half, they just couldn't get much.
I think
going.
if you were Creekside, you were picking a play of the game, it was probably that fumble by Jefferson on the kickoff return.
Seemed to get everything going. Yep. That team got jacked up finally. Because Jefferson had kind of owned the first quarter.
They did.
And then and the first play. They had
Yep.
I think that the big run was on the first play of the second quarter. So, you're talking, 8 minutes or 12 minutes and whatever seconds, and it was all Jefferson. Then the fumble happens. So that was just huge. And I thought they played about as well as you could play. When we talked to I talked to Coach Nolan afterwards, and he made no excuses. He said, "Look, we didn't play our best game. That's a really good team. We had chances." And the word he used in about a minute and a half conversation, he used the word opportunity, missed opportunities about 5 times. So I think he felt like they left the game out there somewhere.
Well, you guys, you don't. I don't like talking about moral victories, and I don't really think this is a moral victory. But Creekside coming into the game averaging 45 points per game. They were leading Class 5A. Jefferson held them to 28 points. And they cashed in that turnover. So, that right there shows how good of a Jefferson team this was this year. And they just ran up against a very good Creekside team who's going to run up against a very good Coffee team in next week's Class 5A state finals. That's going to be a great game.
That's the best offense in 5A against the best defense in 5A. Yeah. That's going to be a whale of a game. After watching Creekside, I don't know how good Coffee is, but that offense is going to be very difficult to slow down.
Okay,
Walker.
guys, how good, Walker, what you got before we move?
I was going to say, I wanted to play a game here before we get into our picks.
Okay.
Let's play this game.
New segment.
Yeah, why not? New segment.
Okay.
Let's do this. Most improved team of 2023.
Ooh.
In the area?
In the area.
I'm going to say
because we're wrapping up the 2023 season today. Let's just go there. Most improved.
Well, I'm going to look. Johnson.
I was about to say Johnson.
Look, they didn't play a non-region. I mean, so I'm not saying they wouldn't have won 4 games, but look.
It has been confirmed they are playing a region schedule.
They will be,
year.
but when you look, they had a school record losing streak going, and then they finally broke that, and they didn't just break it. Then they went on to win 3 more. I would say put the Knights certainly in the conversation.
Commerce is one that comes to my mind immediately. I mean, they were a good team last year, but they were on another level this year, and they lost a heartbreaker in the state quarterfinals. Otherwise, they're in the Final Four right there, alongside Jefferson. And, that was, like I said, a good team last year, but that was what they go into the playoffs as a 3 seed last year, first round exit. Totally different animal this year. And they get the 2-headed monster in the backfield back again next year as well.
That's correct.
I got to give a tip of the hat to Union County. Now, I know
that was going to be mine, yeah.
I know they had a lot of players coming back, but they were, a touchdown away from winning that region against Fellowship Christian, finished second in the region by tiebreaker. So I got to toss that out there and even toss out Jefferson from the standpoint of, man, for 2 years in a row, they were ousted in the first round of the playoffs because of injury. And now this year they get to the semifinals. So I will throw a, improvement star to them as well.
I think North Hall probably deserves a little talk in
yeah,
that category as well.
One, absolutely.
Cherokee Bluff.
Yeah. Cherokee Bluff was right there in so many games. I mean, the Madison County game.
Look, North Hall made the playoffs after this past year, which is second year and a complete revamp of a program, not just a system, but a whole program. When you're talking, high school down into the youth leagues, and within 2 years he gets them into the playoffs. I think you could throw North Hall in there.
Well, I think go ahead, Bo.
I was going to say, and I think North Hall can say, hey, look, we lost to the state champ. I think Stockbridge is probably going to win it, in the first round. But, those are the steps that Coach Pender said that they had to make when they totally flip a program on its head with a new system, a new offense and everything. And, massive improvement to get in the playoffs second year under that system.
I think Cherokee Bluff, I don't think there was a team in the area that was closer to having a great season without having a great season than Cherokee Bluff. Many games for the Bears that they were just right there at the end and couldn't make the plays. You think about the Adairsville game early in the year. The Madison County game is the big one they'll look back on. They had turnovers that killed them in the Walnut Grove game. Turnovers killed them in the North Hall game. So, Cherokee Bluff, they were within a few plays in like 4 of their losses this year.
And they were dangerously close to finishing second, actually, in that region when you look at that. So, I think you could throw the Bears out there, as a consideration.
East Forsyth as well, they make the playoffs, for the first time. And, they were close to getting their first playoff win as well. So, a lot of 4A teams showed improvement there. And, one of the big things, guys.
How about Hall County in general?
I was about to say, one of the big things is Hall County finally broke into the playoffs after a year off. And now I think our next step is to see what they can do next year and maybe get past the first round.
Yeah, like maybe a region champ mixed in somewhere. And yes, we know Gainesville is in Hall County, but we're talking Hall County School District. that was good to see. I mean, Flowery Branch made the playoffs. They were very improved. I think East Hall showed improvement. I think West Hall.
They did early in the season.
They
and
did.
Then it just kind of ended not so well for them.
What was interesting about East Hall is, we were expecting a lot of offense. We didn't get that much, but the defense, which has really been their bugaboo for the last 6-7 years, actually was very respectable and competitive. That was good to see. So if they can get the offense going, and keep the defensive improvement going, that could be a team to look out for.
Walker, any other games that you wanted to play here moving forward?
I had one more before we get into the picks for the
is.
state championship game.
I know what it is.
Go. What is it, Bo? Tell me.
Biggest disappointments.
That actually wasn't
Oh,
it.
okay. All right.
It was MVP of the area.
Oh, this is so we can get a Lumpkin guy
as
in
a
here.
team or as a player.
I'm not even going to vote for Mason Sullins or Cal Faulkner.
Okay, so we're doing.
It's got to be Jayden Daniels, right? I mean,
Yeah.
think of the yards that he was able to put up this year. Granted, they have a 3-headed monster, so it's hard for anybody to key in on one particular person. But Jayden Daniels carried that Commerce team to its first region championship in how long?
A while.
And then a touchdown away with 22 seconds left of making a state semifinal. I think Jayden Daniels has got to be at least on the podium of MVP, if not right at the top.
Well, look, the problem with all of with anybody we name here is that they've got to go up against Sammy Brown. And what Sammy Brown did in every aspect of the team for Jefferson.
Yeah. And didn't he just win the
cannot,
National Butkus Award, too, for linebackers?
He did it on offense, defense, special teams. I don't know that there's an answer other than him. But if we're naming other guys, I'm going to throw out Gavin Hall for Gainesville.
Okay.
Came in to that team and gave them a spark on offense that at times during the season they weren't getting from other places, and really was a dominant force at running back for the Red Elephants all year. And looking back on the way the season played out for Gainesville, you wonder what that season looks like without Gavin Hall, because I don't know that they go 10-0 in the regular season. I don't know that they make it to the state quarterfinals. I mean, he was really that kind of a difference maker for them this year.
I can see it. Look, I would throw Mason up there. I mean, he led 3.
I'd go Cal Faulkner for Lumpkin County.
Mason led 3A in rushing. I mean, and touchdowns, I believe. A stabilizing force on that offense that you knew what you could get, which allowed Cal Faulkner to grow into that quarterback position. So I think you could throw Mason Sullins out there too. Tanner Marsh had a great season for North Hall.
Yeah.
I don't know that his numbers are going to be quite comparable to the others, but when you look at when you're running a spread and you're changing, you have to have a quarterback that can run it. And North Hall found a guy, and that maybe has allowed Pender to develop some younger players coming up behind him. So I think that's key.
You talk about lots of yards. Caden Tanner up at Union. I think he had close to 3,000 yards, if not 3,000 yards
passing.
passing.
He lead 2A in passing,
Yeah,
I think.
he led 2A in passing.
I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to go with a receiver. What about Jeremiah Ware?
I was thinking-
I was about to say the same name,
thing.
Caleb.
I mean, halftime of the East Side game, from then to the rest of the season, something just clicked, and that guy just started getting behind people in every football game. And I don't know that Flowery Branch makes the playoffs without the plays that guy made down the stretch of the season.
I agree.
We're talking a lot of offensive guys. Every game I saw Gainesville play, the guy that jumped to me in every game was Julius Columbus. I mean, he was a beast. And when you throw the kid that came over from Grayson, that was also on the defensive line. Look, that was a great front seven that Gainesville had. But Julius Columbus, I thought, kind of took it to a new level this year, in my opinion, on the defensive side.
See, this was fun game.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a fun game.
Was there a winner? I won the picks and the postseason picks. Is there a winner in this?
The picks aren't over yet.
You
Jeff.
haven't won the postseason picks. You are currently tied.
I haven't had a losing week yet. So why do you think
Well,
I'm going? So you.
Stop
So the
hitting
whole
censor
show, I can ever, Seth. Keep it going. Keep it going. I'm going to keep doing this.
So another question that I had, let's talk about some programs that have some coach openings, because we've got several of those now at this
do
point,
we?
right? Yeah.
In the area?
Well, Brian Allison, East Forsyth.
That's
retired.
Yeah, Brian is who else?
Well, you've got is Riverside still?
Well,
not
Riverside,
Riverside.
yeah. Okay,
Okay.
Riverside.
And then also Banks County
Oh, yeah, Banks County.
is another one.
So Banks, East Forsyth, Riverside.
That's it so far. I mean,
That is very quiet compared to
That-
last year's basketball
For sure.
coaching carousel.
Yeah.
yeah, it's true.
But, season not over yet for, I think we'll hear maybe a few more coaching changes. I don't know if there's going to be any in our coverage area, though.
I don't see anybody that one would be, say, in danger, of not being around. And I'm not sure that I've talked to anybody that said that they were, kind of ready to hang it up or anything.
Is there any carousel potential with any of these openings? Like, in other words, are there any places we might see
jumpers?
an active head coach
Leave for
in the
another
area
program?
leave for one of
That's
those
a good
programs I
question.
just mentioned?
I don't know. I don't want to throw any names out there because, I haven't heard of anything where somebody's like, this is where I would like to be. Not that they're necessarily going to come out and tell us that anyway. Being in the media, we're the last to know most of the time. But I haven't heard anything that would prompt, a domino effect, so to speak.
Walker, which of those jobs is most interesting to you moving forward?
For me, I think I look at that Banks County job just solely because of the region that Banks County is going to jump into with Commerce, Elbert, Rabun, and you get the Athens schools on the other side. I think that's a region that's going to be very competitive. And Banks County, look, in their non-region schedule, they've been really good, and then they get thrown into that region with Fellowship Christian Union, etc., and they didn't fare very well. Not to say that this region's any easier, but I think that Banks County could be a little bit more competitive maybe in that region and maybe put something a little bit more of a fight. So I think that Banks County job is kind of intriguing to see who they put in that position just because of the region that they're now going to go into next year.
Well, there's no reason that Banks County can't be what East Jackson has become. And I know
Exactly.
East Jackson didn't make the playoffs, but like you could at least be that program that's like, oh, damn, we got to go play Banks County this week.
Right.
Exactly.
Like I know Banks County's 5th in the region, but gosh, they're annoying to play. Like that, like if you're Banks County, like you can be that.
Right.
At the very least.
Guys, as we move to the picks here, going to be very interesting next year with the power rankings in Class A to 3A. We don't have enough time to get into that today, but very interesting in what we're going to see in non-region schedules. So we'll leave it at that. We'll get to that, I'm sure.
Get your rocket scientist.
Yeah, you're going to need a note. We're going to
Yeah.
need Jeff's engineering calculator, apparently, for that one.
We might.
Also, before we start picks, guest picker of the year, by the way, is David Bishop, who was perfect.
Man.
13-0 in week 13. So congrats to David Bishop. You still have a spot in the booth when you want it back, Coach. So, all right, let's move. Let's move on
War
to
Eagle.
you just said War Eagle.
Well, Chestatee War
Put
Eagle.
Chestatee in front of that. Yeah. All right, let's start. We're going to start picking the state title games, which, by the way, start Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
We got to roll the music first, right?
We do have to roll the music, and Seth is awake now.
There it is. There's the music.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I really thought we were going to
too.
see Aiden make some picks today.
Where's Aiden at?
Destroying some other studio somewhere else, probably. God bless him.
All
He's
right,
been kicked out?
No, he's not been kicked out. My mom's got him now.
Oh, okay.
all right, let's start.
He's going to go have a lot more fun where he can do a lot more things without risk of destroying everything that we have here.
That's a polite way of saying he got kicked out.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not
He
kick him
booted
out.
Yeah, you did.
That's not what happened.
After you hit him in the head with a microphone.
Let's pick them. We've got 6 minutes left on this Zoom behind the
Brooke
curtain.
know this?
Only kidding with that. All right, we're starting with Seth. Class 7A, you've got Walton and Milton. That's a 7 p.m. December 13th game.
Walton.
Oh, I got Walton all day.
Why not pick Walton?
Yeah, Walton.
That was Morgan Lee's phrase of the
Yeah.
show. Why not?
I'm going to go with Walton. Cobb County has never had a state champion in football.
Oh, that's a
Wait,
great
is
stat
that
of the
true?
show.
Interesting.
That is
stat of the show, Jeff.
I thought Harrison.
Roll that music real quick.
It's Jeff Hart's interesting stat of the show.
That's what I read that Cobb County has not had a state champion.
Really?
I thought Harrison.
I
had
did too.
won one.
But that's what I
There was
If
a
the
state
stat's
title
wrong,
game
that's
between-
Jeff's stat.
there was a state title game between Harrison and Allatoona. All right, let's move on.
All right, Class 6A, Woodward Academy, who came back last week to beat Douglas and Thomas County Central, 7 p.m. December 12th game. Seth?
Give me Woodward.
I'm going TCC. Just go ahead and mark B
I'm
over
going to
there.
take Thomas County Central.
Yeah.
Caleb, I'm going to go against you because I got to. Give me Woodward.
Yay.
This is going to be a bloodbath. Thomas County Central.
Class 5A playoffs, Creekside and Coffee, 4 p.m. December 13th game. I'm going with Creekside. I'm not even waiting on anybody.
I'll go Creekside too.
I'm taking coffee.
Black or sugar and cream?
Oh, always sugar and cream. People who drink black coffee are psychopaths.
I was taking coffee as well. Defense wins championships. Offense wins ball games.
Well, Creekside has both, so I'm going to take Creekside.
Class 4A championship, Stockbridge versus Perry, 4 p.m. December 12th start. I'm going with Stockbridge.
Yeah, same.
Not only two teams who have never won a state title, two teams who have never appeared in a state title game in their histories. I am going to take Stockbridge.
And that was Caleb's, did you know?
If we had locks of the week this week, Stockbridge would be my favorite, and I don't care what the number is.
I would agree with you. Stockbridge all day.
Yeah. Boy. Class 3A, we've got Cedar Grove and Savannah Christian, 1 p.m. December 13th game. I don't know if you can go against Cedar Grove, and I'm not. I'm going to pick Cedar Grove in this one.
Did we change the order?
Apparently.
Yeah,
just knocked me off.
Just go.
Okay,
We
yeah.
didn't change anything. Bo decided he was going to pick before everybody.
That's exactly what happened. I'll do Cedar Grove too.
I thought Calvary Day was going to win the state title with ease, but never underestimate an empire, and that is what Cedar Grove is. Cedar Grove is an empire, and I am taking the Saints.
This is another one I'm going opposite of you, Caleb.
As
Savannah
you do.
Christian is rolling right now. I think Savannah Christian has the answers.
Well, and so is Cedar Grove. I can't. How do you pick against them? I'm going to take Cedar Grove. Nobody's beaten them, it seems, in the state championship.
They just can't stop anybody right now, Cedar Grove. Their defense
yet
they just outscore you.
They won. They stopped the number one team that had been number one all year.
scored 42
That's
points.
why you had a losing record last week, Walker.
42 points.
Yeah, but they scored 49.
I had a winning record.
so-
I was 7.
Look, stop them once, score one more than them, you win, right? Class 2A, we've got Pierce County versus Rockmart, 1 p.m. December 12th game. Seth.
He changed it again.
Oh well, thank you, Bo. You know what? My math says Pierce County at the moment. Give me Pierce County.
I got Rockmart.
You using that calculator, Jeff's again?
No, they won their game. They won their semifinal game by more than Rockmart did. So that's my math.
Might as well.
Rockmart.
Because I know nothing about either teams.
I'm going Rockmart.
I'm taking Rockmart. That's who knocked out Union County, by the way.
That is true.
Class A Division 1.
Prince Avenue
Prince
Christian.
Avenue.
Yeah, Prince Avenue Christian.
Yeah, everybody. That's a clean sweep. And Class A Division 2, Manchester and Bowden, 7 p.m. December 11th game.
I think in Bowden, the defending state champion in A.
Just
think
pick
so.
Bowden.
Yeah, Bowden.
Bowden.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
That's all. Whew. Now we can officially be sad.
Now you guys can replace me for the basketball show.
Yeah, well.
Bye, everybody.
Does anybody want to pick?
Roll the music,
wait. Does
Seth.
anybody want to pick the college football playoff semifinal?
No, stop it. Why did you have to bring it up? It's too soon.
I just thought
Alabama,
It's already sad
Alabama
enough.
Texas rematch in Houston.
That's what they want.
Yes, that is
Yeah,
true.
that's why Bama got in.
Look, I would say that Michigan Alabama is a national title game because it feels
Yeah,
that way.
I
It
think
feels
so.
like that. But if Texas gets
Yeah.
in, like Texas,
I mean,
is
can we
also
all
really good.
say Big
Alabama-
Blue? Go Big Blue?
No, Alabama
we
wins
can't.
it all. Alabama
Yeah,
wins
whatever.
it all.
Shut his mic off. That's it, guys. That's our final show. Not mine,
Hey, you
his.
shut off Bo's mic.
Wrong, Mike.
We're out. That's the final show of the year and of the football season. We've enjoyed being with you, and he's still talking. You can't hear him. For the entire crew, if you're going to the state championship game next week at the Benz, enjoy. Bye-bye. Merry
See you in
Christmas.
Lanierland.
Happy New Year.
Still off. Your mic's still off.
Everybody's mic's off. You don't have to say anything, Jeff. I didn't even look at you. I wasn't even looking at you when that happened.
What a way to end.
That's the best. I love it.
That was
awesome.
good. That was good.
Hey, when are we recording Lanierland? Next week?